and ask which one resonates with you.
Well, then why are doctors and big supplement fighting with each other? Why are they against each other?
So I guess I agree with Dr. Mike in this premise that between big pharma and big supplement, who would I pick as a doctor? I would still pick big pharma every day. The reason being, I feel that the supplement industry has no oversight. I have seen so many cases over my practice, over my lifetime, of where people will sold supplements that were totally not what it was, and it caused terrible harm. In the most recent memory, I would say turmeric capsules have been linked with causing liver damage and elevated liver function test in patients. Other than that, there always like some kind of supplement or something like protein supplement were found to have some lead in there. I feel that just because supplements have no oversight, essentially anyone can make anything and market it as like whatever. Like, so essentially I could take dirt and put it in capsules and say it cures cancer. And I don't think anyone can question that, because so there was a time when government wanted to have some oversight on supplements, and people took to the street and they said, we want to take over supplements, and please don't stop us from that. The reason I distrust supplements so much is because it gives you a false sense of security. I see so many ads from so many well-meaning people, or that who I think are well-meaning people, who say, oh, you're busy, life is hard, you should just go take this supplement. And it's like an amazing supplement. It has 20 different vegetables and 30 different fruits in there. And I, as a doctor, I feel like none of that is true. You have to incorporate 20 to 30 different kind of fresh produce in your weekly diet to get the best nutrition for your best mental health, for your energy level, for your cognitive functioning, for your physical performance, for pretty much everything. You need nutrition from the fresh produce. You cannot make it into a supplement. I've seen people who say, oh, I buy like all the best brands of the supplements and all the best everything, and my supplements have every nutrition in it. They are on keto or something, and they're like, okay, I'm just going to eat meat and I don't eat vegetable. One thing I would like to say as a lifestyle medicine doctor is that produce are the most important thing in your diet. The biggest data we have is on Mediterranean diet, and that includes like 60 to 70% of fresh produce, moderate amount of milk or beef and dairy, and whole grains and stuff. So, but it's primarily based on fresh produce. So anyone just say supplements are good for your health, I don't trust it, because why on earth would you even need a supplement? Like, if your diet cannot give you the nutrition you need, well, then it's not a good diet. You probably should change your diet. I mean, I understand some people for ethical reasons or religious reasons are vegetarian, and they can be low in B12, sometimes even iron. And or if somebody has some kind of, like some kind of stomach problem, like inflammatory bowel disease or something else that they cannot take something, then okay, so supplement should be an exception. It's not something that everyone should take. So as a doctor, I am very much against supplement, because I feel like instead of taking supplements, you should spend that money on buying your fresh produce and taking the nutrition in its healthiest form. Supplement industry hasn't given us much. If you want to take natural things like turmeric, or something you want to use, you should use it in its natural form. Frozen, even dried, is not as bad. But once you go into supplements, like just to make something into a capsule, they have to add other chemicals to mix it, to make it into a capsule form. So anytime you're forming it into a pill and you're increasing its shelf life and everything, it definitely adds some chemicals. So you're not getting what you think you're getting. One thing I'm surprised about, to be honest, I don't really know a lot about the MAHA movement. So I'm kind of surprised that they're so much into supplements, but I don't have much time to look at politics and stuff, so I don't know everything the MAHA movement or RFK Jr. stands for. I thought they would be talking about lifestyle changes and healthy diet. Mostly when I am directly asked by a patient, can I take this supplement? I look that up and I would tell them that, okay, there is not enough data to prove if this thing does what it claims that it does, or if it is safe in the dose that you're taking. Because whenever a medication is approved by FDA, it goes into like the adverse effects are studied, long-term effects on health are studied. It goes through, okay, this dose is the correct dose, that is a therapeutic dose that helps you recover from whatever we're trying to teach you for. And so for supplement, there are no trials for therapeutic dose. So it could be supratherapeutic, like what happened in case of turmeric capsule, like it was extremely high amount of turmeric or curcumin in those capsules. Or it's like a subtherapeutic dose, which is like, it's what are you even doing then? What are you even doing then? So that's my problem, or most doctors' problem with the supplements, that we don't have the data on the dosing, we don't have the data on adverse effects, we don't have any quality control, government oversight on the manufacturer of that supplement company. Could you find out in 5 years that they were putting arsenic in it? Nobody knows. So essentially, anyone can put anything in a capsule and say it is what it is, and there is no government oversight, there is no quality control. I mean, for regular diet, like there's USDA. So USDA checks your beef, USDA can check your eggs, USDA can check your milk, USDA cannot check your supplements. So neither FDA nor USDA, nobody knows what's in your supplements. And that's like, I mean, do people have a right to take whatever they want to take? Of course. But the question is, if you're talking about being healthy, or if you want the country to be healthy and you're a movement who is vouching for positive health changes, then you don't need supplements, you need nutrition. If you want chondroitin sulfate, make soup from beef feet or pork feet. You can pretty much get it from the actual diet, and you don't necessarily need a supplement for that.
Doctors don't have the responsibility to teach their patients about the supplements. Like if I went to the doctor and I said, hey, I heard that magnesium can really help me with cramps,
Okay.
And the doctor would educate me on that, right?
Okay, so what I would like to say about that is, again, the thing with the magnesium supplement is that most of it, you poop it out. Most of the magnesium supplements are kind of laxatives. So you can take it and you're going to poop it out. The first question I have for somebody who comes to me for cramps is like, how much water are you drinking? So for a lot of people who are dehydrated, a lot of people are dehydrated. So let's say they might be drinking barely, like, some kind of caffeinated drink. So they start their day with 2 cups of coffee, and then there is some tea somewhere, and there is a soda somewhere, or whatever. So if you're not taking enough water, you don't have enough blood volume in your circulatory system at night, your muscles are not getting enough blood flow. And when they don't get enough blood flow, they contract. The first thing I tell most of my patients is like, drink more water. The second thing, yes, magnesium has been associated with helping you with cramps, but the most important thing for that is to take your magnesium through your diet. You can take avocado, you can take pumpkin seeds or papitas at nighttime. So magnesium is very good, but do we have good trials to prove that the magnesium supplements work better than taking it through your diet? No. So do I have trial that the diet works better? No to that also. But the thing is that, like, we have learned the hard way that most of the nutrition, when taken in the proper nutritional form, the way it exists in the natural state, is usually absorbed better. And it's best to take it like that instead of taking a supplement. So case in point, calcium supplement. So when there was a study that came out like a few years ago that the calcium supplements caused more coronary artery calcification, and they caused more calcium stones and kidney stones and stuff like that. And so we learned that if you take your calcium through your diet, so that would be your dairy, that would be your collard green, kale, and all of your leafy greens and stuff. So if you take it through that and you have an egg in your diet, let's say 1 egg per day, which has K2 vitamin, which helps corral calcium into your bones instead of leaving it in your blood vessels, then that is absorbed better. So there are time and again, different things happen, and we learned that the supplements were causing more problems than help. And you are better off if you're taking it in the natural form. So I would say the same thing about the magnesium, where what Dr. Mike is commenting on is that he would check her iron and see if her ferritin is low, and which is highly associated with restless leg syndrome. So yeah, so I mean, as a doctor, yes, we'll do your chemistry panel, we'll see. So if you take some kind of diuretic, so the only time I have prescribed magnesium supplement to somebody is like if you have heart failure or liver failure or kidney failure and we have you on a diuretic. Sometimes the diuretic makes you pee out more magnesium and potassium. And if that happens, that's the only time you need to take a supplement. Other than that, for a regular person who does not take medication, does not have any health problems, like you should just add it in your diet. You don't need a supplement for that.